hell's that supposed to mean, Mom? You fucking bitch. You're always saying shit like that. I don't know what it means.
Welcome aboard. You've just stepped into Damn It, Jim, the podcast. My name is Dana Smith, and I'm attempting to steer this ship through another discussion as we talk about Star Trek's Strange New Worlds. With me, as always, our fanatical Commodore of Rambling, Dan Calzaretta. Good evening, Dan.
Dana, I don't think I ramble that much, or at least last week I didn't. Did I? Or 2 weeks ago? I can't remember now.
I think you had to edit out most of your rambling. So,
You know, we have not used the Ramble Jar in a while, Dana.
yeah, it's funny because the episode that you played, the bonus episode, was one where I think it was one of the last ones we used the Ramble Jar on.
Wow. Okay. Well, do you think we need to break that out? I mean, there probably isn't going to be any rambling tonight, but if there was a little, should I break it out, you think, or what?
Yeah. If we by chance start to ramble, then that's something we should do.
Okay.
We need money.
Yeah, but it's our money that we're putting in the Ramble Jar. So it's kind of like we're losing money, I think, isn't it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's to be used for us to do something with.
Yeah, but then why don't we just use our money instead of like I got to get the change because I got to keep a bunch of change down here to throw in the jar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So actually it's only my money that's going in the Ramble Jar. Now that I think about it. Wait, this was a ripoff, man.
Okay, so you were gone last week. You went out to the Washington coast.
Yeah, Orcas Island. We stayed at this little hotel where my niece works, and this time of year, there's like almost no one there. Not a lot of tourists on the island, so it was great. The weather was actually great. It did not rain at all when we were there. It was fantastic.
Nice.
How about you? How was your week?
Football season's on, so I'm happy. Hockey's going, so I'm happy. And watched the new Frankenstein movie.
Oh, you did? I haven't seen it yet.
I liked it a lot.
Good. The big question is that I have for you, Dana. I don't want any spoilers, okay? Did you have popcorn?
Yeah.
Because I remember you telling me that you really like popcorn, and you do like the make it on the stove. You don't do like the microwave stuff.
No.
Like, wow, there was a lot of value judgment in how you just said that. Anyone who eats microwave popcorn apparently is not a good person.
No, that's not it at all. That's just, lazy and idiotic. But yeah, I like making it on the stove. I season it up and use real butter. And
oh, yeah.
It's tasty.
Well, I mean, I think it's got to be difficult to not burn it. Wow. Well, welcome to the Popcorn Podcast, the Popcast. God, we could make a popcat. We could call it that, Dana.
Yeah.
We could like sample popcorn. Oh, God, that would be horrible. The chewing. Oh, yeah, Jesus. Yeah. I don't think I could deal with it. Hey, maybe we should move on from the whole popcorn thing, even though I really think it's a great idea for in the interim between season 3 of Strange New Worlds and season 4. There's going to be a break. We're going to have to figure out something to do. It might be nice to just throw a couple extra things in there, you know?
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure it's a good idea. We can think about it.
Well, let's get on to listener comments.
Yeah, let's do it.
Through Facebook, got a couple messages. One was from Ellen Brown.
Is that a new listener? I don't remember that name.
She has liked a lot of the stuff we put out on Facebook, but she sent an image. Remember the one where it's the planet and Mud has all the robots and they're trying to get the robots to go crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
And Chekhov's dancing and Uhura's like stomping her feet, clapping. And she sent that image. And that's when we said we were going to be back. And I somehow missed that before. So I think that was her showing her appreciation for us coming back.
Or on the other hand, she was so happy that we were gone for a while.
Also, we heard from Craig Combs. He commented that Through the Lens of Time amounts to Raiders of the Lost Ark with quantum physics with the Last Crusade riff in the last reel. He says, while it's good popcorn fun, this is purely baseline Trek.
Okay.
Dave Eisenstein said, referring to Space Adventure Hour, he said, it shows the biggest problem with SNW, too many gimmicky episodes, not enough Star Trek episodes.
Well, for that one, I agree.
And then we have one that was written in, I believe, Portuguese. This is Sandra Elisa Bastos Carvalho. So she wrote dos melhores, which translates to one of the best, which is, I'm certain her comment was about our podcast coming back.
Had to be.
What else could it be?
I think we're pretty famous in Brazil, right?
Pretty famous in our own minds somewhere. So.
That's exactly right.
Those are the comments I got through Facebook this week. Dan, what comments do you have for us?
Yeah, so Dana, via YouTube, we heard from listener NJ Esperantist. Here's what he said about my confusion regarding the pronunciation of a word. This is what he says. The best way to remember the difference between entomology and etymology is that entomology, the study of insects, begins with ENT, like an ant, like the insect. Hope this helps whomever might be confused by these two terms. Thanks, NJ, for that helpful suggestion. However, Dana, I think there's a slight dig at me regarding an episode from the original series when he writes whomever in his message, okay? Whomever might be confused. Now, I know I've gone off on this a lot, but for those who don't know about this reference, because it's been a while, Dana, or for those of you who, or maybe it's whom, need a refresher, let me take you back to the original series, Season 3, Episode 16, and let me play you a little clip. Well, for this episode, in the title on YouTube for Whom Gods Destroy, I wrote who instead of whom. I had the title correct in the show description. We said it right in the podcast, but the fucking grammar police, some loyal listeners pointed out that it should be whom. Starting with AJ Mittendorf, who wrote, it's whom, not who. Speaking as a fan and as an English professor, I give you failing mark, thumbs down for that error. Messing up the quote or a title when it's right there in front of you is an egregious error. Okay, error, yes, Dana. Egregious errors, let's say, I don't know, you turn left at a red light and you T-bone somebody and someone dies. That's egregious.
I would agree with you.
I guess someone has to put us grammar idiots in our place.
I appreciate it. I got a laugh out of that. So, I appreciate that.
So, Dana, that was the whole start of the who versus whom thing. And some fucking people, Dana, they can't let it go. They can't actually let it go. I guess it's me who can't let it go, Dana.
I was trying to figure out how to say that without getting you too mad.
Also from our YouTube channel, we heard from listener Annoying Critic. They wrote, when Chapel was on the bridge and looks over to Spock and wonders if he, meaning Spock, can act professionally even though they just broke up, that was it for me. In other words, I think Annoying Critic is saying he was over it, like just over the whole Chapel and Spock thing at that point, Dana.
Okay, but not over Strange New Worlds. Just like us being over the Chapel and Spock thing.
Yeah, he might have been over us, too. I'm not really sure. I agree. But, at least we know from watching the original series that Chapel will eventually have her heart broken because later Corby becomes a robot and kills himself, leaving Chapel alone, broken, always in a foul mood. So that's good, Dana. Okay, and then we also received an email from our good friend Lou in Canada. He clears up the whole flamenco/flamingo confusion that I had regarding the dance that La'an and Spock were doing.
Oh, yeah.
He says, it seems like the flamenco is more of a solo dance done by females, sort of maybe like what Kara was doing in Wolf in the Fold for Scotty. And finally, Dana, we received a phone call from longtime listener Olivia. Here's what she had to say.
I am halfway through the Space Adventure Hour one, which I took a chance and listened without actually watching the episode because I'm like, you guys are going to make me laugh, guaranteed. After you're done reviewing this season, I really think you guys should go to the Next Generation episodes and review those, but only the episodes where they go into the holodeck, because I think you guys would just adore that. That would be so fun. But welcome back, guys, and so glad you guys are on the air again. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.
Thanks for calling, Olivia. It's always great to hear from you and to know that you are still listening. However, it seems like you may have been calling from your car. We have mentioned several times that listeners have had close calls while driving and listening to our podcast at the same time, so make sure to be careful out there.
Yeah, thanks, Olivia. We really appreciate the call. And thanks for everybody who wrote in and or called. If you want to call, Dan, what's the phone number they would call in on?
Dana, the phone number is 509-676-6298.
Dan, let's move on. Season 3, Episode 6, The Sehlat Who Ate Its Tail.
Okay, let's do it.
Or is it Sehlat?
I think it was Sehlat. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Baby got back. Wasn't that his song?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why I even have any brain space taken up with that little bit of trivia, I don't know. He was from Seattle, actually.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, maybe that's why, yeah.
We start off with the first officer's log, but it's not who you think. It's Jim Kirk.
Whoa.
Aboard the Farragut. And he starts out with stardate. What is the stardate? And he says they're all blending together.
Dana, hold on a second. See, once again, evidence that the writers listen to us. How many times have we asked the question, what the hell is a stardate? Right?
Well, I think he's asking what stardate is it?
Same thing, really. I mean, it just shows that the writers are listening to this podcast.
As they should be, because they could learn a lot from us.
Yeah. Right.
Farragut is conducting a survey of Helican Gamma, an uninhabited M-class world outside Federation space.
M-class? Whoa, we haven't heard that term in a long time.
Yeah. He says, I am so deeply bored. I find myself constantly questioning Captain Varel's orders.
Deeply boring, I think, is what he meant. Not you, Dana. He, not you.
He says, Captain Varel, it's like she's allergic to risk. We're out here to get our hands dirty. We go on the bridge. We see Captain Varel, and she's a Vulcan. So Kirk suggests they go down to the planet to survey it, and Varel replies, given the geological instability, it seems an unwarranted risk. And Kirk says, risk is why we're here, isn't it? Starfleet could have sent a probe, but instead they sent us, because some things need to
be probed, and I need to be probed, and you need to be probed. We all need to be probed.
Just then, the science officer reports an unknown force just impacted Helicon Gamma's surface.
Whoa, crazy.
Causing a seismic disturbance in the planet's crust. And we see there's movement in the planet. It's starting to come apart.
Yeah.
And we hear an explosion and see the planet looks like it's exploding. And Kirk says, all hands brace for it. And then the ship is rocked. And Kirk checks the captain and she's unconscious.
Oh, like people were being thrown all over the bridge. It was actually pretty good. It was very reminiscent of me, Dana, to the original series when things would happen and sparks are flying and things are blowing up and people are getting thrown all over the bridge,
Yeah, and it seemed like people were flying in the right direction.
Yeah, they do have that down for sure.
Kirk tries to call for help, but he's told something is blocking the transmissions. And Kirk looks up towards the screen and says, it's coming from that. But we don't see what he's looking at yet.
Right.
The next thing we see is the Farragut floating in space, looking pretty beat up.
Oh, yeah. And there's sparks coming out of it and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like the thing's like a big cookie and somebody had eaten their way around the edge of it.
It did. This was a great opening, Dana. I think maybe the best in a long time.
Yeah, if it just wasn't Kirk doing the opening, it would have been better. The Enterprise comes along and blasts some of the bigger boulders that are heading towards it and uses its shields to protect the Farragut.
Wait, they just happen to be in the neighborhood?
They explain it somehow. They're yeah, we kind of caught your transmission and followed it, like a trail of breadcrumbs or something.
Oh, that's what it was. They didn't want to be probed too? Maybe that was part of it?
I think that was part of it, yeah.
Okay.
So next we see Spock, La'an, Uhura, and Chapel and Scotty beam aboard. They find a crewman who says he only caught a glimpse, but it was huge. And I don't think he was talking about what was in Kirk's pants. Uhura points out that the communications are down, and Chapel takes that crewman to sickbay as Spock heads to the bridge with La'an.
Were they dancing?
So in sickbay, Chapel learns the chief medical officer is dead, and she goes to talk to Captain Varel, and Varel seems like she's not quite all there.
Well, her head is wrapped in a big bandage, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's cool there's green blood on her, which, obviously Vulcan.
Yeah, because at first I wasn't real sure that she was Vulcan. The ears weren't fully pointy, it seemed to me.
Some Vulcans get their ears bobbed, they don't like it being too pointy.
Yeah, see that. On the bridge, Kirk is issuing orders. Alvarez is at the helm and seems a little unhappy with Kirk being in command. They get Pike on the screen, and Kirk explains that they were just doing a survey when all hell broke loose. So Pike orders them to evacuate the ship. Kirk looks like he might argue, but Pike insists. Spock downloads data on the mystery ship to a disk, and he hands it to La'an, who says she'll deliver it to the captain in person. Pike starts to say something, then his signal breaks up, and Kirk asks Uhura to get him back, and she says she can't, and she points at the screen, and we see a big ship moving in. It's gray, dark, with red lights, and it looks really menacing.
It looked like a huge mouth with sharp, pointy teeth, that's opening up to like swallow stuff.
Yeah. So Enterprise starts firing at it, and Kirk orders to fire with everything they've got, and Spock says that would be useless. So the big monster ship opens its mouth, and like you were saying, it's got big, long fangs.
Yeah.
And it literally swallows the Enterprise.
Yep.
And then the mouth closes, and it jumps to light speed.
Dana, I did like the beginning of this episode. I thought it was excellent.
So Kirk orders for a complete diagnostic of the ship.
It's broken and shit's falling out all over the place. Kirk.
How's that for a diagnostic?
Scotty comes up. Hey, Captain, it's a piece of shite now. There's wires hanging out in their side. I don't even sound like Scotty anymore. That's how bad it is, Captain.
Well, you're not far from the truth there. So Kirk calls to sickbay to talk to Varel, but Chapel said that Varel requires an emergency craniectomy.
Ooh, that sounds bad, Dana.
She says, which I'm not qualified to perform, so I beamed her to the Enterprise 2 minutes ago.
Uh-oh.
So, but I was curious about what a craniectomy is, Dan.
Oh.
So I checked with our brain surgeon professor at Dammit Jim University.
The medical school.
Yeah. Well, some days he's at the medical school. Some days he's at the bar. But today he was at the medical school.
Okay, good. Which often holds class at the bar, from what I understand.
Yeah. So, and a lot of his students pass.
Out.
So what he told me was a craniectomy is performed to relieve pressure on the brain caused by conditions such as brain swelling or hemorrhage. A craniotomy is performed to access the brain for various reasons, including removing brain tumors, treating aneurysms, or performing biopsies.
Okay.
Here's the difference. The procedure, a craniectomy, a portion of the skull bone is removed and not replaced.
Ooh.
In a craniotomy, portion of the skull bone is often removed, but it is replaced.
Wait, hold on a second now, Dana. So you're telling me that a person's brain is just like exposed for the rest of their life?
Well, they put skin back over it and stuff, maybe I'm sure there's maybe they do like a metal plate, or, in the future they use titanium, or, who knows what they use.
You think hair grows out of there? I mean, wouldn't the roots grow into the brain? That can't be good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard of this, and I don't think people have issues with it.
I have an issue with it. Now, which one was that again? The craniotomy, the craniectomy, the craniostomy. What the hell is it called again?
Craniectomy.
Craniectomy is removing and you don't put it back.
Yeah.
Dana, it's like this. You have to have part of your roof replaced, and you're just going to remove it and not put it back on? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
So they just found out that Varel needs a craniectomy.
Not a craniotomy.
Spock looks at Kirk and says, Commander, you are now captain of the Farragut.
So this is the first time, Dana, right, that he calls him this. And really, I mean, it's the beginning of, what we know will become this legendary friendship.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because Kirk looks down at the captain's chair, and it's kind of like, it's almost like it's a big thing to him.
Well, you sure he's not looking down there and going, man, she made a mess in this chair when that ship shot these lasers or whatever the hell it did.
Yeah, I'm not sitting in that chair. No, so
we got to. Hey, let's get janitorial up here. Let's get that thing cleaned up before he's sitting there.
Inside the big monster ship, Pike and Una are talking. She says main power's offline, all network systems are down. Pike orders to send a runner to inform the crew, and Lon says the last runner we sent to engineering hasn't come back, and that was 2 weeks ago.
Wait, did they? Is that true? I don't remember that part. Okay.
No. Pike says, then we have to assume we've been boarded.
That can't be good, Dana.
Pike asks if they have any useful information on the monster ship, and Lon says, Sir, have you heard of Ocelot's Destroyer of Worlds? And I'm sure I slaughtered that name too. Yeah, she says it also translates as astrovore,
Astrovore, like a carnivore, astrovore.
astrovore.
Yeah, it eats asses, apparently. Astros. Like,
wasn't Astro the dog's name in the Jetsons?
Yeah, Astro. Yeah. An Astroglide is a.
It's a lube.
It's a lubricant. Yeah, a lubricant. Yeah. I mean, you got to use it on engines.
Yeah.
I mean, if your engine needs a little bit of
a little grease. Yeah, so. Pike shakes his head no. She says, well, every child growing up in a remote colony has. Una adds, different names, same story. Scavenger ship, hundreds of years old, prowling just beyond the edges of known space.
Okay, hold on a second, Dana. So La'an knows about this.
Yep.
Una knows about it.
Yep.
Every child growing up anywhere in the freaking universe knows about it. Why doesn't Pike know about it? Come on.
Back on the farragut, Kirk says, acting captain's log. And he says, feels strange to say that. Under better circumcisions. I didn't know I'd have to be doing a bris while this is all going on.
I don't know. Do you think he'd be circumcised, Kirk?
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole movement. Have you ever heard about this? About men who want their foreskin put back?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. It's called a craniectomy, I think. They take that. That's why they put a big hole in them. It's so weird, Dan. It's a little weird. I mean, don't you think it's a little weird? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I've also heard that a lot of people are pushing to not do circumcisions anymore.
Yeah. I don't know one way or another, Dana, what the right answer is there. But to have it like sewed back on, that's just adult.
I know the answer to that. Yeah.
No one's getting down there near me with a fucking needle and thread. I mean, that's just not going to happen. I can't put that shit in either.
I think they just use staples anyways.
Ouch. God, okay. Wow. We have gone so far. Okay, the Ramble Jar, Dana, is okay, here it is right now. It needs a big infusion.
Throw a 20 in there, will you?
Well, you can't hear a 20. I'm just gonna empty some of this jar into the other Ramble Jar. So here we go.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
I'll send you a check. So back on the farragut, Kirk says, under better circumstances, it would be thrilling. He says, I've asked the Enterprise officers to fill in for our missing bridge crew, but they barely know me. And now I have to ask them to trust me.
Except for Lon, who apparently knew me in some other reality, and we, had a thing, and it's just a whole thing.
So then the door chimes, Spock, Scotty, Uhura, and Chapel all enter. Spock says, Captain Kirk, then says they couldn't penetrate the ship's hull.
Once again, if Kirk's involved, there's penetration happening. I mean...
Scotty says, it's slow. And Kirk says, then we can catch it. Everyone looks at him like he's crazy.
Wait. Hold on. I'm a little lost now. Scotty said it's slow?
The ship.
Even though it's gone?
Yeah.
How does he know it's slow?
The particle dust trail it left behind.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's as logical as anything, I suppose.
Kirk says, then we can catch it. And everyone looks at him like he's crazy. So Spock says, as ranking officer, we'll follow your orders.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Chapel of sticking a shank in his back, really. I mean, if he looked like he was doing something stupid, Oops, I guess he fell against some debris in the hallway.
So they put an image on the screen, and Scotty says, those are the signatures from the picked-apart alien ships we saw in Nessie's gob.
Nessie? Kind of like Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah.
I didn't pick that up when I was watching. That's great. That's a great line.
You don't speak Scottish.
I don't, no. I barely speak English, Dana.
Kirk suggests that speed is their weapon, and Scotty stops him, says, what speed? They easily could have destroyed the farragut or made off with us tucked in their bloody huge pouch, but they didn't, because your ship's so banged up, it wasn't worth stealing. And Kirk nods and says, well, then I need you to perform some miracles, Mr. Scott. We need engines and weapons in that order. On the Enterprise, La'an, Pike, and another officer are going down the hall with phasers ready.
Okay, Dana, this is bad news for that other person because we don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a red shirt in the original series, where if they were wearing a red shirt, you knew something bad was going to happen. We don't know this person's name. We've never met them before, never heard of them. I got a bad feeling. Actually, I have a very good feeling about this, Dana.
A good feeling that something bad's going to happen to that.
Exactly.
So they're going down these corridors, and then Pelia comes around the corner and stops in panic, says, "Don't shoot!" And Pike says, "We're on our way to engineering." And Pelia responds, "Bad place to be right now unless you're fond of choking to death on your own gurgling blood."
In this episode, the voice, still a little annoying, but I thought she was good in this episode.
Yeah, so did I. She takes them to a room to show them what's happened. She points out there's an umbilical cord that is tapped into power, computers, and fuel storage. So Lon says they'll need breathers, and Pike sends her off and tells Pelia, as soon as we disconnect, we need to be ready to fly.
Okay, so they're going to go into engineering where there's the noxious gas because Pele was there earlier and had chili and farted up a storm, apparently.
Yeah.
So that's why they need the breathers.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So on the Farragut, Scotty is working in the Jeffries tube, and he's bitching and moaning and groaning as the system he's at the system as Kirk walks up and asks if everything is okay. Kirk tells him the thing is heading straight towards an inhabited planet. It might be going after the aldentium mineral.
Isn't that a type of gum, aldentium?
Yeah, I think that's the one that cleans your teeth.
Yeah, isn't it? Sounds like it, yeah.
He says the planet is pre-warp, so the non-interference directive means we can't warn them.
Bullshit. Come on. That's total bullshit. Come on.
So I've got my own non-interference, Federation thing going on. So yeah, I see somebody about to get hit by a car. I'm not going to yell at them or nothing. It's like, sorry, non-interference. They're not in my level of space.
Right. Yeah. And let's face it, Kirk, as we come to know, never cares about the freaking non-interference thing. He always finds a way around that,
Yeah, or right through it. Scotty comes out of the Jeffries tube and says, "You're not asking me to warp us past them, but if you think this tub will hold together at high speed after the beating she took, your bum's out the window."
He says windy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You got to say it right in the Scottish accent, Dana. Your bum's out the windy.
Your bum's out the windy. Better?
That was great.
So Kirk interrupts and says, "I understand."
Actually, Kirk says, "I don't understand a damn thing you said. Speak English, man."
Kirk's like, "What language are you speaking?" On the Enterprise, Ortegas tells Una there's not enough power to steer the ship, and Una asks if they can fire thrusters manually, and Ortegas says if we all want to die very quickly. So Mitchell adds, we'd be flying blind.
Mitchell has some roles in some of these episodes.
Yeah.
Think she's going to become a bigger character, or maybe just, kind of biff it at some point?
She does look like she put on some weight since we last saw her. She might become a bigger character.
Maybe she and Kirk have been hanging out. Maybe she's got a little shuttlecraft aboard.
Bun in the replicator, yeah. So Pelia comes in and listens to the conversation and says, "Communications issue? I got here just in time then." Says, "This may be the first time I'm glad to have lived through the 1980s. So meanwhile, La'an, Pike, and the person, we don't know her name, are wearing breathers, going down the hall, and they're masks. They're like full masks.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, the outfits are cool. They're spending money on this, on this series, Dana, obviously. In the original series, they just would have had some little thing stuck in their mouth, and they would have called it good,
Yeah, and maybe goggles or something, yeah. So
maybe if it was not the third season.
Third season, they'd just be holding their breath. Yeah.
Okay, the way we explain this is that in Starfleet, you're trained to hold your breath for like an hour.
They see the umbilical cord, and then an alien comes and starts doing something to the umbilical.
Now, this thing was ominous. It was big, looked robotic.
They looked like deep sea diver suits that had been added onto.
Yes.
So Pike goes to fire just as another alien walks up, The aliens fire back, and the other, I'm guessing she's a security guard, gets hit. Smoke fills the air, and they grab the woman and retreat. Next, we see the Farragut apparently doing warp speed. Spock reports they have overtaken the vessel.
What, did they see it out the window? I mean, how do you know this?
He goes, yep, that just went by. So Kirk gets all cocky looking and says he will be accepting drinks in the galley from everyone who said it was impossible.
That was kind of a dick move on his part.
And then he adds, after we saved the Enterprise, of course.
A little cocky there, Dana. A little maybe too cocky.
Yeah. Then he looks down at the captain's chair.
That they still haven't cleaned, apparently.
But he seems like now he's, thinking the idea might be right for him to sit in it. He looks around, watches where everybody else is, then he sits down.
With a squishing noise.
And he seems comfortable. Just then there's a strange sound and the ship jerks. And Uhura reports they've dropped out of warp, and Spock says, we are now in the path of the scavenger vessel.
I guess you're not getting your drinks, are you, Kirk? Huh? There you go.
Who's buying who drinks now? Huh? So Scotty comes on the bridge, and he goes, we've blown out the plasma manifolds. And Kirk tells him to fix them, and Scotty blows up. He goes, they're gone. Beyond repair. We pushed them too hard. They were dead in the water.
When this whole thing was going on, it was a pretty dramatic scene, right?
Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off. And I was like, oh, I can't wait for Dana to say these lines. This is going to be great.
Later, they are looking at the big bad monster ship. Scotty says, the warp engines are just giant paperweights now.
Do you think they would even have that term paperweights in the 23rd century? I mean, usually it means, you've got some papers on a desk and the wind's going to be blowing through the window, so you got to put something down. So, I mean, unless they're going to have the window open on the ship as they're kind of flying around, I don't think that works for me. I mean, it's something you don't see anymore, like ever. If I want a paperweight, I'll go outside and get a rock, a damn it, gym rock. By the way, do we have any of those left if someone wants one, Dana?
Got a couple.
How about this? You call in, leave us a nice message. No, it doesn't have to be nice. Leave us a message. and then at the end of the message, leave us your address. We won't put that on the podcast unless we don't like what you said. And then we're going to put it on there and tell people to go to your house with their own rocks. Anyway, don't you think if someone wants a rock, I think it's about time we send a few of those out again.
Yeah. Everybody starts throwing out some ideas, including using the shuttles to escape. And Spock points out it's not their decision. And everyone turns and looks at Kirk. So Kirk says he's not going with any of the options they offered. He says, I don't need options. I don't need chattering voices. I need time to clear my head. And he walks off the bridge.
Is he going to the bar? Is that where he's heading? Where's he heading, Dana? Take a dump? Maybe that would help clear things up.
Yeah. I always feel like I've got more room to think when I cleaned out the colon.
Or the cranium, one of the two.
Everyone looks at each other and they're like, oh, that could have gone better. And Chapel says he's showing signs of stress. So they discuss what to do if Kirk snaps. And Spock suggests that they talk to him, using someone with a less emotional style. Back on the Enterprise, Pike and La'an are going down the hall trying to get away from the aliens.
Are they dragging the person behind them? Or
they're carrying the security officer with them. The aliens come around the corner and La'an fires, but their suits just seem to absorb the shot.
Those suits are cool looking, by the way.
Yeah. So they take Mauer, because they say, let's get Mauer into this room.
Yeah, see, we'd never heard that name before.
And we're never going to hear it again. So they get her into the room, close the door, and they get her helmet off, and we see she is dead.
Oh, I'm sorry that happened.
No, you're not.
I'm not. I'm really not.
The aliens start banging at the door.
Can't they just ring the doorbell? Like, just walk in? I mean...
Everybody else just walks in, yeah. So Pike says they have to find a way to get through their defenses and orders phasers set to kill.
Dana, hold on a second. They've been swallowed by a huge monster gob, right?
Yeah.
They've got some kind of tentacle thing impaling their ship.
Yeah.
Why weren't those freaking phasers set to kill from the beginning, Dana? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. The aliens keep pounding, trying to get through the door. Their pounding is causing everything to shake. So, I mean, it's some serious pounding. We see Pike reach up and grab a bottle of what I'm assuming is scotch. He says he had it imported from the distillery. Alon takes it from him and says, I'll get you another one.
Yeah, they're just going to take a shot each. And then...
So the aliens enter the room, and then the whiskey bottle we saw rolls towards them. and Lon fires at it and it kind of explodes.
Would it do that?
I don't think so.
Could you set whiskey on fire?
Was he drinking gasoline, maybe? Was that what he got from the distillery?
Well, you like whiskeys and bourbons and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Can you set it on fire?
The alcohol will burn.
Yeah.
But I mean, explode? I don't think so.
Okay, do you have a bottle of whiskey there now with you?
No, but I've been thinking about getting one through this whole podcast, but yeah.
Well, go get it. Okay, have your wife throw it at you and then toss a match and just see, let's see what I'll put it on record so we can record the video. That would make a great YouTube video right there.
We'd get lots of likes.
Finally, these guys are done.
Meanwhile, in Pelia's room, Pelia starts digging through boxes and finds a game controller.
And the room, Dana, looks like, I don't know, like she might be a bit of a hoarder.
Yeah. And it's funny because Mabenga's there and he goes, "This is just as I pictured it."
There's some good lines in this episode, Dana.
Yeah. She pulls out an old-fashioned phone and Ortegas looks at it completely unaware of what it is and says, "Is this some kind of personal massager?"
And Pelia's like, "Well, you might say that."
Pelia pulls out another old phone and Ortegas and Mabenga realize they will have communications through basically old landlines or cables, line to line.
Yeah, so they got to actually string a bunch of cable through the ship or something?
Yeah.
Like they just got some of that laying around?
Yeah, like remember when you would move into an apartment or something, there'd be the outlet on one side of the wall and you want to put your phone on 20 feet away on the other place?
No, but the thing is, Dana, an apartment wasn't the size of a freaking starship. And you could just run down to Radio Shack and buy that wire. I mean, where are they getting the wire?
But she was pulling out telephone wires and stuff like that.
You'd need thousands of feet to get throughout the entire ship. I mean, come on. And then how do they get it from one floor to the next, Dana? They drilling holes in the floor? I mean, what the hell?
On the Farragut, Kirk goes on a long speech.
Oh, yeah.
About his desire to be the youngest captain in Starfleet. And quite honestly, Dan, I stopped caring about 5 seconds into this. Spock interrupts and says, "You're having a crisis of confidence, but you still have to lead." And Kirk says, "I'd love to, but there's nothing coming to me, and now we're in the path of this destroyer." Then he says, "My mom had an expression, clean the shit out of your pants."
My mom actually had an expression when I would talk too much. She called it diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what Kirk had going on here.
So he says, "My mom had an expression, the dog who caught the car." And he says, "I finally caught it and I don't know what to do with it."
What the hell's that supposed to mean, Mom? You fucking bitch. You're always saying shit like that. I don't know what it means.
Sounds like Shaggy.
Well, maybe he's not Woody. Maybe he's reminding me now of Shaggy a little bit, you know? And the dog's name was Scooby, the dog that caught the car. Come on, Mom.
How about a Scooby stick?
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Okay. We're never going to get through this episode.
Good thing you got 3 days to edit this. Spock says on Vulcan, there is a similar expression, the Sehlat who caught its tail.
What the hell's that supposed to mean? It's just like my mom. I don't understand any of this stuff. We're all going to die. You and your fucking sayings. If anyone else says something about a goddamn dog, I'm going to kill all of you. All right, I'm done. Okay. All right. Okay.
Spock says, though I would point out that you have a significant leg up over a quadrupedal beast.
Wait, is this conversation still going on? They've got 2 minutes before the freaking monster ship shows up. Someone's talking about a dog, and it's just not ending, Dana.
Next, we see Kirk and Spock enter the bridge. He asks Scotty how long before the ship reaches them. Scotty says, about 20 minutes. Then Kirk gives a long speech again about how he's not great at giving speeches.
You're right, Kirk. You're not.
Yeah, how about trim him down? Yeah. He says, besides the fact we're dead in space, what do we know about these creatures? Uhura says it devours ships of all kinds. Oh, that's fucking brilliant, Uhura. Thank you. Scotty says, its needs are boundless. It just keeps consuming more and more, making itself bigger. And Kirk says, that's it. You've hit upon its weakness.
Whoa, that was quick. That was really quick.
So he tells Scotty to overflow the manifolds with aldentium.
Oh, we got the gum again.
Yeah, that will draw them to us. Kirk says the plan gets a little crazy now. And he looks at Scotty, and we go back to the Enterprise. We see the aliens coming down the hall, and Pike and La'an jump out of like a Jeffries tube, and they start fighting them. So the fight goes on with Pike and La'an seeming to get the better of the two aliens, and then La'an gets knocked down, and Pike gets smacked by the alien, and it shatters his mask. Pike's on the ground, and the alien bends over and picks up the phaser and aims it at Pike. La'an fires, hitting the alien, but doesn't kill him. So the alien turns to run, and La'an keeps firing at him. And the alien goes around the corner, and La'an helps Pike get to his feet. La'an gets Pike to a chamber, flushes the system with oxygen, so Pike is saved. It was all happening so fast, I couldn't quite grasp what was going on.
Would you have a craniectomy? That seemed like it was pretty easy to understand, the whole part.
Yeah, we'll see who's going to get a craniectomy. So. La'an asks if Pike's okay, and he says it didn't shoot. He goes, why didn't it kill me?
Yeah, I was wondering that when it was actually happening. I thought at first, well, maybe the phaser malfunctioned.
So next we see they're at the umbilical cord, and La'an says if we can't disconnect it, maybe we can convince them to. Give them a taste of something highly undesirable. And Pike says, so La'an suggests the barium particles, and Pike agrees. He says one of us would have to access the waste system beneath the warp drive. And La'an takes off, and Pike tells her to be careful, so she pulls out her phaser again.
Well, didn't he say to her, like, La'an, you go take care of that. I'll stay here. It was something like that. And she gives him a look like, okay, well.
Well, he's the captain.
So this waste system, are we talking like human waste? Is that what they're going to shoot into this thing?
It was beneath the warp drives, right?
Well, that's where you'd put the human waste. I think you'd want it down there, right? To eventually just get shot into space, probably?
Yeah, I was thinking this is like, old dilithium crystal type thing.
Oh, it's like nuclear waste or something.
Yeah. Next, we see a big alien ship coming out of warp. Everyone on the Farragut sees it.
And they poop their pants.
They hit full thrusters and drive straight towards the open mouth of the ship. As they're going right towards it, they pull up and they actually go over it. As they pull further away, they detach the nacelles.
Just to make sure people understand what those are, Dana, they're kind of like the engines.
They're those long tubes on the top of the ship.
Right. Maybe some people don't know what they are.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, you'd have to be a loser to not know what they are, but that's all right.
So they drop down on the giant ship. Spock walks closer to Kirk, and Spock says, the Sehlat has eaten its tail. He adds, the scavenger ship has been disabled.
And see, Dana, the thing that I had a problem with this, it just went way too fast.
So they call the Enterprise. They tell them they've temporarily disabled the evil ship. Ortega's calls for custards?
I'd like 6 custards to the bridge, please. 2 vanilla and 4 chocolate. Now, is there a difference between custard and pudding, Dana?
I have no idea.
Did you ever have frozen custard?
Yeah, that's all I was thinking about, which is kind of like ice cream, but richer. Anyway.
We got away from talking about food for a long time. In the last couple of episodes, we've been like all into the food thing again.
On the bridge, they say the umbilical cord is detached. They use the thrusters, but they're not working. So Una runs off down the hall, and we see she is destabilizing the airlock.
She's venting like air into space to make it as though it's like a little engine pushing it.
I was confused.
Again, something that was really super obvious. I am glad you're not sitting next to me. You would be slapping the shit out of me right now.
Let's see. Things to do tomorrow. Book flight to Walla Walla. They fly out of the alien ship. La'an and Pike come around the corner and see blood on the wall, and they realize it's the scavenger.
Ooh, it's bleeding. Okay.
And it's like red blood.
Yeah.
On the Farragut, they fire photon torpedoes into the mouth of the ship, and the whole ship blows up.
Yeah, again, pretty fast.
Meanwhile, Pike and La'an come back upon the alien. Back on the Farragut, Kirk asks if there are any survivors. Spock checks and says 7,000, but dwindling fast. We go back to the Enterprise.
See, it's all the puzzle pieces are falling into place. I mean, this is not as obvious as some of the other things you missed, Dana. I'm surprised you got this.
We go back to the Enterprise. Pike removes the mask from the alien, and we see it's a human.
Oh, human, Dana. Didn't see that coming.
Back on the Farragut, Spock says the life signs are all human.
Okay, how many? 7,000?
7,000.
All right.
Kirk asks to get a clear image of the markings on the hull. We zoom in more and see the American flag.
I like that part, I gotta say.
So later, Uhura is reporting in the conference room. She says, I found this in our historical database. In the mid-21st century, before first contact with the Vulcans, a group of scientists believed the Earth's environmental crisis was too severe to recover from. So they built a ship. We see an image of several people in astronaut suits waving and smiling at the crowd. She continues, they hoped it would carry humanity to civilizations and other worlds. Later, we see Kirk in his quarters on the Enterprise. Pike enters and says, Varel will make a complete recovery.
Kirk was upset with this news, wasn't he? Damn it, she survived? I didn't think anyone was going to be able to fix her after I knocked that big, hole in her head.
I think anybody noticed the boot print on her head when she fell on the floor under my boot.
I mean, there was so much chaos happening on the bridge at the time.
And the phaser marks on her back. And He says, it might not feel like it, but you made the right call. Pike sits down and says, the big decision. They seem so simple when someone else has to live with the consequences. But the choices you make in that chair, they're yours to make. And what comes after, that is yours to live with.
I mean, good point, really,
Yeah. So Kirk says they were human beings. Why does that make me feel so much worse? So Kirk says when they left Earth, they were the best humanity had to offer. They weren't monsters. Is that what we could become?
Well, yeah, and we find this out because that's how you acted in the original series.
Pike leaves and Kirk is standing alone. And Dan, that's how this episode ends. Dan, do you have any special notes you want to share about this episode?
I do, Dana. At one point, Scotty mentions a man's name by the name of John Baird. And I was wondering, who is this guy, John Baird? Well, John Logie Baird was born in 1888 near Glasgow, and he was a Scottish inventor. At the age of 34, he began his quest to develop television. Other experiments ranged from a disastrous homemade hemorrhoid cream, Jesus, to a rustless glass razor with which he had cut himself so badly he had to abandon that project. Hemorrhoids to razors. But he had some successes, and he used that money to work on his quest to invent television. Baird's breakthrough came on October 2nd, 1925, when he produced a recognizable image complete with shades of gray. On January 26th of the following year, he gave the world's first public demonstration of television. And he was also, Dana, the first to transmit transatlantic television pictures, even though some people in the U.S. claim they did it before him, which they did not. One thing is for sure, Dana, Baird's ass was definitely not out the window. Hanging out the window. That's all I have, Dana. What about you?
Dan, don't know if you realize this or not, but all four of the Enterprise personnel who beam to the Farragut and serve under Kirk's temporary command, Spock, Chapel, Scotty, and Uhura, will later be members of Kirk's crew in Star Trek, the original series.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So, Dan, what do you have for themes and dilemmas this week?
Dana, it's actually kind of a question. How is it that people who believe they are on the right side of history can actually become monsters? We see countless examples throughout history, and even in every war and conflict we see this. For example, the My Lai massacre in Vietnam, the Holocaust, the Cambodia killing fields. And we have to come to terms and be honest when it happens so we can try to prevent it from happening again. Unfortunately, it seems to me like we have short memories for such things as human beings. What about you, Dana? What about a dilemma or theme?
I thought empathy played a big part here. It's what separates us from other creatures. Not only do we need empathy for our enemies, but also for our friends. We have to realize that we are human and we make mistakes, and that we have to appreciate when others make mistakes as well.
Dana, I'm sorry about saying that you should have got those really obvious things that everyone probably got.
Yeah, I have no empathy for you. Or for the beating that's coming your way.
All right, Dana, should we move on to what would Kirk do?
Yeah.
What do you think?
The Kirk we knew from the original series would thank everyone for their input and then come up with his own way to blow up the big spaceship or beam over into it and fight all 7,000 inhabitants. What about you, Dim?
I had almost the exact same thing, that he would not have been kind of questioning himself or needing time to gather his thoughts. It would have happened much more quickly. Dana, how about if we move on to the best and worst? What do you have for a best part, Dana?
I like the two ships working through the issues separately, all the stuff that was going on. It really kept the story moving. What about you, Dan? What do you have for a best?
I thought the origin stories of several of the characters were excellent, including Scotty and, especially Kirk. And the discussion between Pike and Kirk at the end, I thought was really outstanding. And it goes to show how Kirk is going to develop as a character going into the original series. How about another best part for you?
Scotty with the doomsday predictions and complaining. It's the beginning of the Scotty we know and love. Do you have another best part, Dan?
Yeah, I really love how the writers are working in real Scottish sayings into the scripts, and especially because the actor is really Scottish. Dana, how about a worst part of this episode?
The one thing kind of bothered me, it seemed a little obvious. Scavenger ship has a giant mouth with giant fangs that literally swallows its prey and closes its mouth. It's just a little over the top. What about you, Dan? Do you have a worst part for us?
The destruction of the enemy ship took so little time, Dana. We've already mentioned this, it went by too quick as far as I was concerned. How about another worst part for you?
Dan, something that always bugs me, and we've talked about this in the past, the Enterprise didn't even try to communicate with the scavenger ship at all. Just started firing at it. How about you, Dan? Do you have a worst part?
Yeah, it's a small thing, and we've mentioned it already, but why has everyone else heard of the Destroyer of Worlds, but Pike hasn't?
Okay, Dan, let's move on to the counts.
Yeah, let's do it.
Talking too much.
Oh, the whole thing with Kirk and the 3D chess and Spock. Way too much there, Dana. I had one. That gives us a tally of 23, Dana.
Dan, the dead crewman count.
7,001. Well, unfortunately, we can't count the 7,000, which would have been freaking awesome. However, we can only count one Maurer. That leaves us with a total of 18.5.
Shedding tears.
I didn't remember any, Dana. Do you?
No.
So that leaves us with 32, Dana.
Ripped shirts, no shirts. Was anyone showing skin?
Yeah, the Farragut crew member when Chapel has to lift his shirt to examine his wound.
Oh, wow. I completely missed that.
Yeah, that's the one that I got. You good with that one?
Yeah, I'm always for more skin.
Not foreskin, but more skin.
Yeah.
So, Dana, that increases our total to 18.
Okay, Dan, the Supreme Being count?
Dana, we haven't seen this in a long time. I'm wondering if we should even keep this count, but 0 this week, total of 4.
Taking over the Enterprise.
Yeah, I think the enemy ship did when it shot that umbilical thing in there and was able to, render all its systems useless and start sucking life out of the Enterprise. So I've got 1, Dana.
That's what I had as well.
Okay, so that leaves us with a tally of 6.
Okay, fights?
Well, Pike and Lon were kind of fighting with those invaders.
Oh, that was a good fight. What's that bring us to?
29.
Log drops.
Kirk gives us 2, and they are 2 separate log drops, unlike a couple weeks ago when we saw Dana Gamble give us one really long log that eventually killed him, I think. So I've got 2, Dana.
And what's that bring us to?
Up to 30.
And finally, Dan, Pike cooking.
Nothing this week, Dana. Have we had any in this season so far?
I don't know. It's been so long because we had such a 4-month break or something. I can't. I can't remember that far back.
Yeah, I can't either. Anyway, we're stuck at 15, Dana.
Okay. Dan, what are your final thoughts on this episode?
I know that I was kind of critical about some things, Dana, but this is by far my favorite episode of season 3 and maybe of the entire series. We see a relentless enemy in a very cool and scary looking ship. I know you didn't like the mouth. I kind of thought it was cool. The special effects are the best so far in the entire series. The character development is outstanding, especially Scotty and Kirk. We see their origin story, as I mentioned before. And we also get to see the beginning of a working relationship between Kirk and Spock. There are also some really humorous parts of this episode that help break the tension and seem really natural. The action is compelling and the pace of the episode is taut and keeps the excitement going. Scotty has some great lines in this episode, especially when he's talking with Kirk about how everything's impossible. And we get to see, I think, the beginning of his kind of miracle working. I really like the backstory of the enemy vessel and how it was crewed by humans who had left Earth after the Third World War. Seeing the American flag on the close-up of some of the debris was actually kind of shocking. And I hope we learn more about this, but I'm also kind of fine if it's left somewhat mysterious. And then finally, Dana, I continue to be impressed with the casting. You're going to find this shocking, but I have to say, Kirk is starting to grow on me a little bit, and I didn't find Pelia's voice as annoying in this episode. Maybe because she had also some humorous lines. This episode was definitely a palate cleanser for some of the other poor episodes this season. I really hope the writers can keep it up the remainder of the season and into season 4. Dana, what about you? How about your final thoughts?
Well, I'd echo a lot of things that you just said, Dan. I thought it was a good action-packed episode that got the whole crew involved. A few minor nitpicky things that I mentioned I could complain about, but really they're very small. It's a solid episode with plenty of twists and complications to keep us on the edge of our seats. I do think that this didn't have to be Kirk. It could have been any first officer and seeing going through their growth. But they obviously did this to show that he's not the fully formed Captain Kirk we knew from the original series. And this is part of his growth. In that sense, I kind of liked it. And I'll tell you, he wasn't as annoying to me. And I thought he did a good job in this episode. I was glad to see Pike get into the action and get into a fight. La'an, same there. Glad we got a officer or security officer that was killed to add to our account.
Yeah, okay.
I liked how much they relied on Scotty. So this is the type of episode I've been waiting for all season, kind of like you. There's been a lot of kind of goofiness this season, and I think we still got some more ahead of us. I think that this is, kind of classic Trek.
All right. Well, it seems like we're kind of in agreement on most of this episode. So, Dana, what do we have for next week?
Dan, the title of the episode for next week is What is Starfleet?
So, Dana, is that a question for Jeopardy? Is that what we're talking about? Do you think this is going to take place on some kind of Jeopardy planet?
Wow, there's something we haven't thought of, and I hope we never do. Yeah,
so, can you imagine like an android Alex Trebek? He's there asking the questions. All right. Well, Dana, as always, it was a blast talking with you about this episode, and I can't wait for next week.
Okay, Dan. Once again, good to have you back from another vacation, and it was a lot of fun to sit down and talk to you about Star Trek. We always have a good time and laugh quite a bit. Want to thank everybody who called in and wrote. Until we meet again, live long and prosper.
Thanks once again for listening to Damn It Jim, the podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email at dammitjimpodcast@gmail.com or join the discussion on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. You can also reach us at the Damn It Jim hotline at 509-676-6298. This podcast was produced by Dan Calzaretta and Dana Smith for Ramble Jar Productions. Editing by Dan Calzaretta. If you would like to be a Damn It Jim sponsor, please send us an email at dammitjimpodcast@gmail.com. Have a great rest of your week, and remember to live long and prosper.